Alexander Titov, Russia Affairs Analyst and also a lecturer at Queen's University in Belfast. Welcome to you, Alexander. I want to put the same question to you. Do you think the Europeans are steadfast in standing by the Ukrainian leader here? He said he won't give up any territory. It's a carrot with security guarantees to sweeten the deal. But do you think they might weaken or they will rebuff any advance?
Well, I think they would like to rebuff it, but bottom line is that they are not fully in control of the situation because they are themselves completely dependent on the United States for its security guarantees, and they not want to jeopardize that. So the European leaders are in as much dilemma as, well, almost as much dilemma as Zelensky is.
Do we hold them to the words, though? Because only yesterday, Ursula von der Leyen said, we'll support Ukraine for as long as it takes to get a, quote, just and lasting peace. Surely she can't think that a just peace is giving up 20% of Ukraine's territory.
Well, one thing is what you'd like to happen, another thing what is realistically possible. And as you said, your Americans already shifting all the financial burden to Europe, plus imposing new taxes on them in terms of tariffs. And Europeans are kind of accepting that. But at the same time, they want to keep the United States on its side, at least in terms of continuing supply of weapons, which Europeans are paying for, and hopefully more sanctions on Russia, because European sanctions are not as effective against Russia as the United States might be. So the Ursula von der Leyen, which is kind of committed whole political kind of career on Ukraine now, obviously would be saying that she is fully committed and will stand as long as it takes. But there is also kind of material reality around it in terms of money, in terms of weapons, in terms of man resources, which Ukraine is running out of. So it's not a matter of kind of high principle. It's also a matter of hard reality. And to have any chance, they have to have a backing of the United States, and that's the dilemma for them.
Alexander, a big thing that's been raised is something that Steve Witkoff threw into the conversation, the possibility of what he described as an agreement. It's similar to Article 5 of the NATO Charter, so it would, in theory, give Ukraine some security guarantees if Ukraine, for example, was attacked by anyone, really, but by Russia, in theory, the US and others might come to their defense. First of all, would Russia agree to that? Because that's the implication.
No, I don't think Russia would agree to that. I mean, in Istanbul talks in 2022, there were a big chunk of the draft agreement wasn't about security guarantees, where security guarantees to Ukraine were agreed by United States as well as Russia and China, for example. So this is what the Russians have in mind, is that there is kind of the ground security guarantees, but it's not a matter of putting the security guarantees into the exclusive preserve of the West. And by the way, all this coalition talk and of the willings and so forth, coming to Ukraine's rescue if something happens, I mean, there's nothing stopping them from doing it right away. And the only thing which is stopping them is the fear of having a war with Russia. I don't know how it's going to be changed in the future. If they're not willing to do it now, why would they be willing to do it in the future? So it's not so a matter of even just Russia agreeing to that, but also would Americans really would want to give Article 5 guarantees to Ukraine? I really much doubt that. That's going to be a consistent policy of both Biden, let alone Trump administration, that under no circumstances Americans will be fighting in Ukraine. So I don't see how that can possibly change in any deal.
Yeah, so many questions, so many more questions that we need to discuss. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for now. It's going to be a fascinating meeting this evening. Thanks for your analysis. Alexander Titov, my guest, lecturer at Queen's University, Belfast.